guys, my name is Melody and I've got my cat Pat here, and we're going to be talking today about minimalism. Maybe you're new to minimalism, or maybe you've just fallen off the rails a bit, so this video will give you the momentum that you need. It is definitely the place you want to start. This video I'm going to talk about clarity. I'm going to talk about focus, because we are obviously productive enough. All those things made it through our door, and we are collecting and also accepting all those things. So it's not for productivity that we're not where we want to be, but it's focus. We've lost our focus somehow. So this video I'm going to be talking about strategy, organization, and strategy. I'm an INTJ, so strategy is my forte. I want the best strategy going forward to minimize, getting you closer to meaning and value in life. So there are many reasons to become a minimalist, and there are so many people that have written eloquent blog posts about it and made many videos about it. It runs the gamut. So you can talk about better focus for your career, better relationship with your spouse and kids, better spirituality, better for the environment. You can go through all the reasons. I could make a whole video now, but I won't. We're just going to be talking about the how to get to where you want to be headed. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to grab your notebook. I use a 5-star notebook that you can get from any store. You want to grab your notebook because, again, we're looking at focus here. And you want to start off by category whenever you're downsizing. You don't want to start off by room, because if you start off by room, you're not going to know how much of anything you have on hand. So you want to start off by category, and you should be starting off with the small categories first. So what are the small categories? I don't know what you have in your house. I don't know if you like a lot of crafts, or if you like a lot of kitchenware, if you like a lot of makeup. Whatever is the smallest category in your house, that's where you want to start. Generally speaking, from what I've seen of people's places and from my own experience, clothes and paperwork usually are the biggest categories. So you definitely don't want to start off with furniture, clothes, and paperwork, especially sentimental paperwork, because you'll be slogging through mud and you'll lose momentum. David Ramsey talks about in his Financial Peace University, which is very popular. He advises to start off with the snowball method, which is essentially to start off with the little debt first. Even if the bigger debts you're paying a lot more interest on, you want to start off with the little debts because you see them diminishing and you get momentum and excitement, and you need that momentum to carry you through. It's natural energy, so why not take advantage of it? So the small categories that I've noticed for most people are their purse, their condiments, their pantry. Most people aren't attached to the things in their pantry. Their glove box. There are so many little categories to start off with. So you want to start off there and save all the big stuff for later. What you want to be aware of is the sunk cost fallacy. That's my second point, because boundaries are so important, because boundaries are a part of organization. What is organization but mapping and grouping things into categories? If you don't have boundaries, things are bleeding into each other. Therefore, you want to set a boundary on the amount of time you're keeping things. If you're going to put things aside in a box or a bag for 3 or 6 months, set that boundary now. If you're going to sell things on eBay or Craigslist, make that limit, that threshold now. For me, that threshold is $50. If it's under $50, it's not worth my time to resell. And for you, it might be $20, but set that limit now so you're not going to $15, $10, and you're leaving your house to sell something for $10 on Craigslist. If at all possible, you want to conserve your energy, because getting through a lot of things takes a lot of energy. So set your limits now. Utilize the sunk cost fallacy. So if you're at a restaurant, you've spent $7 on a dessert, the dessert is not good. Are you going to keep pushing through that dessert and make your night miserable and also pay the $7 which you can't get back? The best choice of action is to stop eating the dessert. Stop reading the bad book. Don't just keep pressing through because you've spent the money. And the same thing with things you bought in your house. You might have bought a vase that was $50 and you want to get your money's worth, but it's not providing you any value. So every time you see it, you know you've lost that $50, but you're also thinking to yourself, I'm not getting my money's worth because I don't use it, I don't enjoy it, and it's taking up space in your house and it's requiring cleaning. So you're taking massive losses because you don't want to cut your losses. Therefore, always look at how things are performing now and then choose accordingly when it comes to possessions. The next thing that you want to be cognizant of is the reasons why you've collected, the reasons why you are where you're at. So strengths are easy. It's easy to read a book. It's easy to improve your life, to go on a walk and to smell the roses, do things like that, small things and physical things like that. The physical is easy. The mental is a lot more difficult. But as anybody will tell you that is dieting, it's not all the things that you add in like exercise. It is mainly the things you subtract away. So your weaknesses matter a lot more than your strengths going forward into the future. And the problem with weaknesses is they're not pleasant to examine, and oftentimes we've relied on them for a decade or more. So it is even more difficult to get to the bottom of and to get rid of, because it's almost a part of our identity. But you have to examine what is holding you back from where you want to be headed. You have to look at the results, especially in your childhood. Examine, were your parents hoarding a lot of things because of anxiety, because they weren't making enough money and they were fearful they would not be able to buy things again? My family was very poor, so we saved a lot of things. It could be mental illness. It could be dealing with somebody else's clutter in your house, and you have to be patient and work through the issues. Maybe people have given a lot of gifts and we haven't realized that we don't use things, or just mindfulness when we're living day to day and we don't realize we haven't touched something in so long. I don't know the reasons why, but we have to get down to the reasons, because if we don't get down to the reasons, it's a vicious cycle that will start up again, and then minimizing becomes a lifestyle and not just a thing to do and then to be done with. Your whole life shouldn't be all about minimizing. It's something that you should do and be able to get done rather quickly, within 6 months to a year maximum. Therefore, you want to be focused while doing it, and you want to get down to the reasons why. The last thing I want to say is, I know it's difficult, and you have to be understanding with others and understanding with yourself. Habits don't break overnight, and some habits we'll never be able to get rid of maybe. But you have to be patient, and you have to be aware, and also you have to ask for help. Whether it's advice, or whether it's your spouse to take things to Goodwill, or your kids to help you pick out what they're going to keep and what they're going to get rid of, you have to ask for help. I know it's hard for some of us because we want to rely on ourselves. We don't want to depend on anybody or be indebted to anybody, so we take on everything onto ourselves, but we make life unnecessarily difficult. No man is an island, so you should ask, because there are people that have strengths that you don't have, and they can help teach you, or they can enjoy helping you because that's their strength. So if you have questions, definitely ask them below. Even if I don't get to them, there's plenty of minimalists in the More Melody family. I see all of you guys answering questions all the time because it's literally our passion. So don't be afraid to ask for help from your spouse, from people online, from people in your community. Reach out and give back. Give back and reach out. It is a part of being a part of society. It's a part of being human. So I hope that you will take this advice. Definitely subscribe to my channel so that I can see you next Sunday in the next minimalist and organization video. And thank you guys so much for watching.